Welcome back, my fellow Planet Nomads, to another episode of Planet Nomads and another rainy day. I swear, since this last update with all the new environmental stuff, it has rained probably, 4 days out of 5 in the game. It's raining with like one day having a little bit of nice clear weather. It may be starting to lighten up a bit, but basically it's probably going to be a shorter episode today because I'm still struggling to get certain things done because of performance issues. So I'm hoping what I can do today is give you some insight on the issues I'm seeing, and maybe if a dev is watching, it might help you at figuring out where the problem is. So I've started adding more onto the next floor rooftop because of the new environmental change, where if I stand out here for too long in the open like this, whether it's sunny or not, I'm going to start getting an overheating alert, and my temperature sensor thing is going to go off, and you'll start seeing the foggy steaminess coming in on the corners, which you can kind of see a little bit, like right there to the left, to the right. You can see it starting to come in. So I'm building the roof, and what's happening is right now you can see it's stuttering a little bit, but not bad. And there goes the temperature shield warning. I can place down a block, and it's fairly responsive. I am only a couple of minutes into the game right now, but in 1 hour, it will be stuttering so bad that I'll get there and it will take a minute to get it to line up right and hold long enough to make sure I can click the button and place it down, and then it will take another 30 seconds just to complete it with the gun. So the performance issue seems to be a progressive one that gets worse and worse the longer I'm playing on it. So right here you see it's still fairly responsive. Now I am seeing the same problem. The mining rigs, the shortest time I've seen it happen, where I completed a mining rig up here on the hill, and it went from trying to complete to fully complete, ready to go, was just over a minute. The longest time was like 2.5 minutes for it to complete the build. So there's definitely still calculation stuff going on with the conveyor system and everything. But it's not just that. It is just building in general is getting slower and slower the longer I play in the game. Now, there is a term used in programming for a bug, basically, that some of you may be familiar with. That's called a memory leak. My first thought was, this seems kind of like a memory leak. It just keeps eating up more and more the longer the game is running. And when I save and close out, it releases all the memory and everything starts to work fine again. Unfortunately, though, that's not the case. So if you're a developer and you're hoping, oh man, I could check for a memory leak, not the case. I do have a memory and full system monitor going on my other screen, and what I've done is I've noticed it will start like right at the beginning of this with everything running, including my recording software. I was at 5 gigs of memory in use, and right now I am at 7.5. And I've noticed it just steadily increases as I play to a certain point where it peaks out. It got to like 10 the other day when I was playing a bit. Stopped at 10, and then after about 10 minutes, I noticed it just suddenly dropped back down to about 6. And started the whole process over, just loading in RAM again. And basically, it seems like it fills up a bunch of RAM and then releases it all in one big go and starts over. And so maybe that has something to do with performance, but I'm not saying for sure. It definitely means there's not a memory leak in the terms of a normal memory leak, meaning the game would just keep snagging more memory until you run out of memory on the system. And even now, just starting the game, I'm going to be able to go over here, and it will take probably about a minute to a minute and a half just to complete the mining rig. And you can see how much I've expanded out. I am sitting here at, let's see, that 6 there, that's 7 there, and that is 4 there. So I've already got 17 of these in place. So I've got room all the way back here to expand out. I don't think I really need to. I decided to go with this one trunk because I can span off that way and not worry about the little depression there. Let's go ahead. We'll try building another row. I'm actually to the point I really don't need that much more in terms of production here. but why not? We'll go ahead and get the framework in place at least. And you see, this is placing perfectly fine. This, for the most part, is not an issue until I've been playing for around an hour, at which point, even placing these, the game starts to really stutter, and it'll be like right here, it's perfectly fine. But an hour, hour and a half into the game, it will be, you know, one frame every few seconds, just moving this along the ground. It gets progressively worse, and not like over a long period. I wouldn't consider an hour and a half a really long gaming session. This is definitely not a game I could sit here and stream for an extended duration, because it would not be able to handle a stream. I'd have to stop, close out, and reload it once or twice at least in a longer stream. And I think we'll finish right here. So I am starting to push a little bit on the limit of my power switch reaching over here. And a little bit of stuttering on those, but not too bad. Now we'll drop in a couple of these. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, we'll just go ahead and start. You can see it stuttered a little bit trying to get it lined up right that first time. Now it's in, perfectly fine. No issues. So what I've done is pretty much just go ahead, I've put every single conveyor piece down, every single frame for the mining rigs. So I can then just come back and, okay, let me click this, and that's going to be a minute or two. So I'll just, you know, turn and be messing with something on my laptop, check an email, whatever, while I'm waiting for it to finish the mining rig. And so now I've got those in place. Let's go ahead and I'll show you that. All right, so one piece there, conveyor piece, not a problem. And it doesn't matter. I can sit here and put the mining rig here and leave the conveyor pieces unfinished, and they will still finish at this sort of speed. It's when the mining rig is finished only that it actually freezes up like it has been doing. And good thing I've got plenty of supplies. All right, so here we go. And now it's just frozen. So it's going to be about a minute, 2 minutes for this to finish. All right, it finally finished. That one actually took so long, I was starting to get worried my game was frozen up completely this time, because that was a good, say, 2 minutes right there. And what I've got now is I've actually got a stopwatch ready to go. So I'm going to test this time and see exactly how long it takes for this to complete. You can see it's already freezing up. I haven't even pressed the button yet, and it's just freezing up looking at it. Like that. There, that major stutter just looking at it now after placing down one mining rig. So maybe it's something with the mining rigs. Maybe it's something else with like the conveyor system, but there's definitely still some stuff with all of this that needs to be tweaked in terms of the overall performance. Okay, it finally finished after 2 minutes and 31 seconds. So yeah, I am done with these for now. We're going to go ahead and power these on, and that is it. That was 2.5 minutes for that one, watching a timer to complete. So yeah, this is getting really sluggish. I mean, even when everything else is working fine, that's still very sluggish, very laggy and problematic. Hopefully they will have an update coming out soon to fix these sort of things. I know some of you are not even getting your game to run as well as mine is, and you have said you don't even have as much as I have in my game. You don't have this massive base with this massive scale connection going across there and coming here. I've got a lot of mining rigs. Let's see, I've got 19 to the northern front. That was, what, 17 we had? I just added 2 more, so that's 19 there. And I figure I'll probably put another 19 to the south as well once I get that done. And that will be split between uranium and then titanium and gold production. So I'm still, you know, pretty good distance away from being done. So it's going to be time consuming. Well, let me show you how much I have. And this is still not that bad in terms of opening up the container system. It's actually still very responsive compared to building the mining rigs. As you can see there, it's already loaded. And I'm almost halfway through with my production there on the containers. And then I have all these containers here. They're taking in stuff from the mining rigs as well. There's new building components. There's stuff being produced downstairs. There's more from the mining rigs there. The water pumps are going non-stop that are up to the northern segment. So I have a lot of production going. And yes, lagging up a bit when I tell it to do that. So you can see here, over 5,000 purified balls of in each of these. Both of these. So the refinery over there is going to take care of that. I've got this one that has over 3,000 of those left, over 3,000 of these. I've got so much production going right now that I'm just really ramping up again to start building some bigger designs. And since it's been a while since we built a design, let's do one today. Let's do a simple, smaller one, something I can easily take apart. Now I have looked at this, another big mobile base, which I'm afraid to build right now because of performance issues, at least building it right here. Maybe we can do that later on. I'll take the flying mining rig somewhere. We'll just wander off by jetpack into the distance and do it that way. I do have this base I would like to check out somewhere. Maybe some nice place, because we got that floating base, the Leviathan. The flying miner I will try somewhere, but I see it as more of like, it'd be great if it can attach into another vessel and then you just basically use it as a separate thing that flies off. You leave it there, you come back later to get it, kind of thing. I think what we're going to go with is this, because it's only going to take 23 seconds. And this is the little quick, cheap flying ship that I've looked for that I can use for exploring around the different monuments when I transport to them. I do still have things like this cargo container here, lifting mechanism for that one, things like that I want to be able to use. That's pretty much going to be the one that I tie that into the Erestrum mining operation and use that to bring it back here and have a docking mechanism for that on the rooftop where I can drop it in, and using the conveyor connectors, it will go ahead and take care of locking everything in, and I don't have to worry about sitting at the Erestrum deposit for too long. Let's see, we've got, oh yeah, some container storage, which is great. I'm not really going to need that. This is mostly for speed of exploration. We've got 9 minutes worth, probably. It's a biogenerator, so we'll be able to get some stuff on the way. Now, this is one that I remember seeing is a little weird in terms of some of the flying, but not as weird as some of the other ones. Some of the other ones, you'd have to use your forward motion to actually go up, and your upward motion was what they set it up to fly forward, using a trick to make it go faster. You see here, I'm getting like 57 kilometers per hour, very quick and easy to get up here to my little spot. So this is a very good scouting vessel. It's not exactly the best in terms of turning, but it's definitely a cheaper one. And it runs on biofuel, so, come out here. Hey, thank you. Got some, biomass. I might make my own little adjusted version of it where I swap it out for deuterium, since I'm about to be producing so much. And, we'll be good to go. We can sit there and basically keep going for a while with this, exploring into a larger area. And, oh, that's lagging up now. Just trying to open the biogenerator for some reason. All right, so 3 hours. Big difference there in power consumption. And it's, yeah, my system is lagging up. My hefty system is even lagging up still, just doing that stuff. So there's a lot of performance tweaks that need to be done. But we're going to go ahead. Let me make sure I've been a good area around here. Let's go down to here. Let's travel down to my Xehanort farm. And we'll kind of see how quickly I can get down there and mark it. And make sure I know where it is again, because it has been a while since I've been there. Okay, so I'm here at the Xehanort farm, and it took nowhere near as long to get here as it does with that air miner. Now, the air miner carries a lot of capabilities with it, but yes, this was much faster and very fuel efficient. Hardly used anything in the biomass. And so I'm here where I can basically, it should be still going. Yep, it's going. Let me make sure. I think Oh, yeah, because it is full. And that means this should be... It's full, too. Oh, man. So it's produced so much. Apparently, I guess it still was running. Despite how in the past I've done this and it always stopped because it was, you know, too far away. Apparently now it's still running everything. So we're going to take a bunch of Xanite. So I'm back and I've dropped everything off. That little vessel is definitely a really good one. It's cheap, it's quick, and it's extremely power efficient. I mean, I've had 9 minutes worth of usage, 18 biomass containers, and I've got over 3 hours of flight time with it. So very efficient. Those of you who are still looking, that is the APX-STB-NS by Aeone. Aeone. That's what we'll say. There's a U supposed to be there, but it's not. I think what we're going to do now... so this is for the container here, or I think it's what it's for. We're going to build one of these. That actually is going to take more time to build it than it took to build the little flyer thing. So we're going to build it. We're going to move out a little ways so I can kind of experiment with this. So I actually want to build it and get it where it's obviously not going to attach straight to the base itself. It looks more like it's just going to drop in. So we'll make sure it doesn't fall too far. And really, we don't want it to attach anyway because the idea is to lift it up in the end. Now, I have not tried this yet. So I don't know if this is going to be the same thing as like Empyrean's factory where you only have one thing building at a time. Can I build another one? Yes, you can actually build multiple things. It treats it as a separate entity. So we'll do another one of these over here. Because this is the cargo ship. Well, not cargo ship. This is the carrying ship. And basically, you see that little post there. It's got a set of posts on it for catching the grooves. Basically, you go up to it, you lift it up with the ship, and you fly it where you need to go, and then you drop it in. So we at least are going to test that function of it. I would like to see how well that works. And then it's just a question of mounting everything in. Now, that is a conveyor connector. So it's already pretty much set. I just need something I can use to line it up here. And then I need a connector somewhere coming off the side for this. Let's see what we have in the middle between them. Is that just an armor block? So I guess that's to keep it from crushing those. What we could do is I can put a, block or a connector coming out and have the conveyor connector that comes out. So when I take it to the Xanite farm, I land it down like this, and it's sitting there connecting that way. But at the same time, I could just build a platform there that connects it in. I need to look at doing 2 platforms over there. Obviously, it takes power. Oh, and look at that. Conveyor connector. One of the conveyor connectors is not completed in the blueprint. So I definitely will need to make a modified version of this that is fully completed. Let's try this, though. Okay, so that's good speed for lift off and turn, which is good. I need it to be able to, fly fast, hopefully. But not too much acceleration where I can't control the approach. So let's bring it down. Oh, yeah, this is definitely going to be interesting. So I guess I kind of lock it in. Like, that's not working. All right, let's look. All right, so I'm there. And it works. Oh, it works. Now, the problem is, what happens if I fly forward and then suddenly, stop? Is it going to, swing it off? It moved a little. It moved. Okay, so it's not, moving that badly. I am going to, bring this over here closer to my item dispensers so I can fix the missing piece there and kind of do some experimenting with it, maybe. since I'm having so much trouble performance-wise in terms of the mining rigs, I think I'm going to take a break from that and worry about trying to get this set up now that I know how much I'm producing at the Xehanort farm. But hopefully, maybe what I've showed you earlier has kind of triggered something in your brain that you say, oh, maybe I could try this and see if that helps my game performance. I am continuing to mess with this and see what I can find in terms of if there's a way for me to improve the performance without just massively cutting the graphics quality down or anything like that. And hopefully if a dev's watching this, it gave you an insight to kind of what I'm seeing that's the problem in my game. Maybe it will help you find where to fit some of these performance issues. But as I said earlier, it's going to be a short episode day. So thanks for hanging out and watching. I am your host, Mr. Spicy. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. As always, I will see you guys in the next video.